Okay guys, we got another project here today. It's a old bingo pinball machine. It's sitting up on the head right now. So this is the head and the body and machine right here. So maybe with these graphics, you can tell me what machine this is. I'm not sure. It's a Bally, I'm sure of that. It's all electromechanical. It has 2 bingo cards on the back glass and with A, B, C, D, E lines. It has a mechanical, it looks like a mechanical or electromechanical counter, and it's in really rough shape. Take a look at the playfield here. The paint has gone off it. So I was given a bunch of these old pinball machines, and I'm gonna just take any parts I can use off of them and scrap the rest. I'll probably scrap, take all the electrical wiring out and get scrap copper for it. Here's the bottom. Here is the coin door. There's some good parts in here still, even though it's in really rough shape. I think that held keys at one time. There's the other side of it, same graphics. Probably find that on the internet somewhere. But yeah, it looks like it sat in a wet building with a leaky roof. So they was on location at one time. Skilled flipper, no cash payouts or gambling allowed, for amusement only. And what he told me, I got it right from the person who was running all these machines on a route. Him and his dad put these flippers on there to make it legal in their location in South Carolina. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to scrap this out, get anything I can off it, save the parts. See all these, somebody might be able to use these bumpers. I don't know if the metal may be good, but there's a lot of good parts on here, especially inside the machine. There's all kinds of relays and coils and things that can be used to keep your old machine going. Okay, I tipped the machine back. So, first thing I'm going to work on is this back door. Open it up here. Looks like the motor fell out. They must have been working on that. I took some parts off it probably. But here's what the insides look like. You can see there's a ton of wire, coils, and mixing units. These things will spin around and change the odds and do all sorts of things. So, and there's a relay bank here. This is all relays. Imagine when this thing's running, probably pulls a lot of voltage, a lot of amps. Looks like it may have had a little bit of a fire here or something. It's kind of burnt up. And coils are burnt up. Like one of them melted. But there's a lot of good coils on here too still. Look. These are still good. All these mixing units and everything. Then inside, you can see there's more. There's a big transformer. And all the wiring, that counter unit is still good. You can get parts off a lot of these things. So first thing I'm going to do is take this back door off. Pull that back door off. I'm going to cut the wiring right here and take that back door off. Then I got all this free. It'll give me more room to work inside. Okay, I've got the wires cut. I use a Sawzall. Just snip all these wires off. And I took this hinge off. See that here? Hinge right at the top here. All I do is take 2 screws out of there, and then this whole door is going to lift right off. It's going to be heavy. Okay, I didn't have the recording going, but I was able to spray a little bit of liquid wrench on there, and then the door slid right off. So that's an easy way to work this thing out. Got the door. This probably weighs a good 80 pounds, all this stuff on here on this door. Okay, with the Bally bingo machines, the head is a lot bigger than the body down here. So if you're going to work on one of these taking it apart, it's best to separate the two, take the head off. So here's the head, display on it, and there's your play field. So we're going to separate these two, make it easier to work on, take apart. So the way you do that, there's some bolts in the back here. There's 4 bolts, 2 on the bottom, 2 up here, and there's a few other things. You take this transformer out, probably have to take that plate out, and you basically just disconnect all these wires. They plug in, so you could theoretically replace, if you were having a problem with the head and you had a spare one, you could just swap it on by unplugging all these electricals here. And that's how you swap. That's how you get the head off the body on a Bally bingo. Here's another one. It's a Miss America 75. Now that one's in great shape. I'm going to end up restoring that one, getting that one working. Okay, another thing you can do to make this easy to work on is the back glass. Not the back glass, but the back board with all the lights in it. That tilts forward, so you have these little releases on each side. Lift up, and then the whole insides will tip out, and that makes it easy to work on. So I can take everything off of that board and part it out. So now it's looking pretty easy to work on. See, I can get the transformer, these screws off too. So I've got everything off on that transformer, except for those 2 little nuts I got to take off of there. So it looks like the back. This is the main motor of the whole unit right there. Yeah, you never know what you find in here either. Is this like a quarter wrapper or something? Not sure what that is. Roll X for quarters. Yep, that's a quarter wrapper. There's another piece that probably weighs 80 pounds or more. There's a lot of electrical wiring in these things. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is take this motor off. The back door and the front board off. So we're going to use the Sawzall here again. There we go. Got the motor off. That's a chunk too. That weighs quite a bit. So if you're scrapping these out, you can get a lot of wire, a lot of steel. You may be able to reuse the plywood, but there's a lot of things you can recycle on these old pinball machines. A lot of parts still may be good on them too, like this motor here. Maybe I'll sell that to someone who needs a motor. Okay guys, I got it down to the bottom cabinet now. I'm just going to take the playfield off and we'll see what's underneath there. It should be interesting. The way the playfield is held on, there's 4 screws holding it down. They look like this. They have a grommet on them. And they're long screws, and they go in right here. One here, one there, 2 on each side. So let's get this opened up. See what's in here. Pull this. Gotta pull the plunger back. And it's seized. So I'm going to have to get a hammer. Not this plunger. Use this extension, tap that back, and I have to spray it a little bit too. Spray it. A little bit of liquid wrench. Alright. Go back. There it goes. It's not seized too bad. All the good news. I can tap that back and it'll hold itself back. So, I should be able to lift this up. You ready for it? Let's see what's in here. How many rats got in there over the years? Some wires holding it on. Okay, looks like everything's in there. Got the tray still in it. So looks like it's pretty much untouched inside. We'll have to take this tray out and see what's below that. I'm going to take the wires off of the playfield. Playfield comes off. There's a connector. You can lift the whole playfield off. There's a stray wire. Snip that. That's it. Got the playfield off. Okay, let's see what the back of the playfield looks like on one of these Bally bingos. So here's the connector that connects to the head, and here's your shutter. This board here is your shutter. It opens and closes and leaves in there. This is shutter motor, and somebody added flippers to it, probably to make it legal wherever they were using this on their route. So even though the flippers probably didn't work as close as they are to this switch, probably were there just for looks, more or less. But that's it. There's a motor and this shutter board, and then you got your Playfield lights, and there's some rollovers here where the ball would roll over to switch, and I would add or subtract a feature. And there's another rollover switch here for the ball when the ball shoots up. So there, that's the other side of that. A little, looks like a needle. Ball shoots up. There was a switch here that would close the shutter when it hits that. So that's the back of the Bally Playfield. And then inside here, you got the ball tray. This should be held on with a few screws. Looks like there's a couple of them in there still holding on. We'll get that tray out and we'll see what's underneath there. Okay, let's see what's inside here now. Now, it looks like there's a ball in here. There's a bolt from a leg. There's one ball left in there. So this is the ball return tray. Should roll that up in there. That might be usable for someone if someone's missing a tray. And let's see what else is in here. This is the ball gutter. I think they call it the gutter. And there's switches in here where the balls sit on. And that makes it know if there's a proper amount of balls in there. This is the elevator right here. Let's see if it works. See that lever here. I'll lift it. It looks like everything's pretty well rusted up in here. So I might be able to take that apart, get it to work again. There's a counter in here. Well, that's the motor for the ball lifter, the elevator. And there's some switches here for different functions, probably for the magic, is it magic curtain? Magic lines. Not sure what they were called in this game. And what else is down here? Some relays down here or something. Not sure what that's for. I know this has something to do with you bang on the bottom of it. Looks like there's some keys in here. Cool. Those may go with the locks. That's kind of cool the way they screwed them down in there. So nothing too exciting, not even a mouse nest in here. Just your basic stuff. There's not a whole lot in the bottom of these games. Everything's really in the head. So you got your door and your coin mech and your shooter. I think this might be able to get that to work. Get the rust off of that. And I'll have a good one. And there's your tilt right here. There's like a little bob. It swings. That makes it tilt. There's also a knock switch down here too. If you can see where my finger's pointing. If somebody slams against the side of it, that will switch. Will turn the game off. Slam switches, I think they call them. There's the flipper right there. That's it, guys. You can see the wiring harness goes in the back there. This whole wiring harness goes all the way to the back, and it would connect up to the head.